In this video, we will discuss Manage Day Labor Payroll, Day Labor Setup, Register Day Labor Earnings, and Deduction menu. Firstly, we will start by Earnings Registration. In this menu, you can register the earnings field that you will manage for your payroll book and the fields that you want to display in each payroll book. And you can set up the earnings codes by entering details here and clicking Save. Firstly, set the earnings code within 5 digits of alphanumeric letters, and the codes should not overlap with each other. And then set the earnings name to the name for management. For example, if you pay money for various fields like food or hourly wage, weekend wage, or holiday wage, then enter the corresponding name in this column. And next, set the display order. And the order that you set here will be applied to the payroll book. So if this earnings field's display order is the first, then it'll be listed the first in payroll book. And if you enter a 0 in this column, then this field will not appear in payroll book, so please note. And then select the payment type of the earnings field. You can choose between fixed and variable, daily, hourly, rate, and set manually. If the earnings amount will be always fixed, then select this option. And if it will require calculation by daily wage or hourly wage or a particular percentage of a fixed amount, or if the amount will vary each time of calculation, you can select set manually. So depending on the way of calculating each earnings amount, select the corresponding option. And for example, for this extended hours earnings, the amount will vary depending on how long the employee works for. So you need to select hourly wage type. And for part-time salary, since the salary will vary depending on the time of work, select hourly option as well. And next, in taxable type, the default value will be full tax, and if the earnings is not taxable, then double click on the field and select non-taxable option and set the tax type depending on the nature of each earnings field. And lastly, in formula column, you can set the formula of calculation for each earnings field. And the setup will be available after first saving each earnings code. And at the beginning, depending on the payment type of each earnings, the formula will be automatically set based on the payment type. So for example, this hourly variable payment type, if you click the formula and click the applied point, you can find the formula says that the amount of registered day labor employee will be pulled first, and then it will be multiplied by the work history that you enter through new day labor work and pulled by confirm timesheet function. And then the amount will be rounded by 2 decimal points. So this is a default formula set up by the payment type, and you can edit this formula by using various fields that the program can pull of Register Day Labor Employee Earnings Details tab and other settings and the fields of Earnings Registration menu, etc. And you can use the formula tools like adding, subtracting, multiplying, rounding down, and so forth. So edit the formula according to your desire and according to your payroll system. And once you have set all the fields for each earnings field, click Save to finish, and then the field will be set up. And moving on, we will discuss how to register deduction fields. In order to set up your company's payroll deductions, you need to go to Manage, Day Labor Payroll, Day Labor Setup, Register Day Labor Deduction menu. In this menu, you can set up the deductions that you will deduct from day labor payroll amounts, like income tax, health insurance, employment insurance, etc. You can set up the deductions in advance and have the program to deduct these amounts from your part-timers' payroll amounts. And initially, you will see no deduction field. So you need to create deduction codes from the beginning. Firstly, set the deduction code within 5 digits. Then set the deduction name according to the properties of each deduction, like the type of tax, etc. And set the display order of each deduction field, which will be applied to payroll book display. And here, note as well that if you enter 0, the field will not appear in payroll books. And lastly, you need to note the formula column. So basically, if you create a new deduction code, then the formula will be automatically set to pull the amount of Register Day Labor Employee Earnings Details tab. So in this tab, at the bottom area, you can enter the monthly deduction amount for each field. So here you can manually enter the amount that you will deduct from this employee's payroll amount. And once you have created a new deduction code, then the formula will be automatically set to not this one. This one is the one that I edited. So at the beginning, the formula will be automatically set to pull the amount that you enter in Earnings Details tab as it is. And the program will simply round the amount and do nothing else. So if you need to apply a specific percentage, such as tax rate, or if you have your company's own deduction calculation formula, please use the calculation fields items on the right. You can pull amounts from Earnings Details tab of Register Employee menu, or you can pull the amounts from various other menus. And you can use Formula tool to edit the formula. So please edit the formula according to your company's needs. And if you have difficulty setting up your own formula, you can use Support at the top, Online Screencast Inquiry, to consult us about your issue. Or you can request a call consultation for a more detailed description. And after setting up all columns, click Save to finish. And once the registration has been finished, you will be able to use the earnings and deduction fields for payroll calculation through Day Labor Payroll Book menu.